Good morning, all. Welcome to the first session of temperature measurement. As per our syllabus, we need to study three categories of temperature measurement. In first category, the instruments which are using thermal expansion, such as liquid in glass thermometers, bimetallic strip thermometers, and pressure thermometers. In second category, the electrical instruments such as thermocouples, resistance temperature detectors or RTDs, then thermistors, and finally the non-conduct type pyrometers. In this session, we are studying about thermal expansion devices. The methods of temperature measurement are broadly classified as expansion thermometers, field system thermometer, electrical temperature instruments, and other methods. Let's start with liquid in glass thermometer. So it is very simple in construction. So it contains a bulb which is filled with mercury, then a stem having a very narrow opening, then a scale which is graduated over the stem, and the space above the mercury is either filled with nitrogen or it will have a partial vacuum. So when this mercury bulb is subjected to a temperature, a small change in volume of this mercury drives a narrow mercury column in a relative long distance, and the height of the column is read against the scale. And in advantages, it is very simple in use and very low in cost, and it's a portable device. Then power source is not required. And in disadvantages, it cannot be used for automatic recording since it is not producing any electrical signals. Then there is a time lag in measurements because time is required for the expansion of the mercury. Then it is very fragile in construction. Next is a bimetallic thermometer. In this, two strips of metals with a different thermal expansion coefficient are firmly bound together, and a temperature change causes a differential expansion for these strips. Hence, any change in temperature around the bimetal strip can be measured in terms of free end deflection. The bimetallic strips may be in the form of simple straight, helical, or spiral. In this example, we are considering a simple straight one. In this, a high expansion metal and a low expansion metal are welded or riveted together to prevent the relative motion between the two. This is made in the form of a cantilever fixed at one end and other end is free. Most commonly, Invar is used as a low expansion material, whereas brass, nickel, or nickel molybdenum alloys are used as a high expansion material. And for explaining the working, let's consider this example, a bimetallic strip with the metal A and B, where B is more having more coefficient of expansion than A. When this one is subjected to temperature, an elevation in temperature, B will expand more compared to A. So the free end of this bimetallic strip will have a deflection in anti-clockwise direction. When this one is subjected to a reduction in temperature, so the contraction will be more for B compared to A, so it will have a clockwise deflection for the free end. The deflection of the free end can be read out by attaching a pointer to it, and the pointer will move over a dial which is calibrated in a temperature scale. The figure shows a spiral bimetal strip thermometer. So the high expansion metal is fixed like this and the low expansion metal is fixed like this. So when it is subjected to an increase in temperature, this will have an expansion, so the coil will wind in this direction, anti-clockwise direction, so the needle will have a movement in this direction. and there is a calibrated scale which shows the temperature. In this figure, the bimetal strip is in the form of a helix. So when it is subjected to a rise in temperature, this strip has got a spiral movement, and that spiral movement will rotate the shaft which is carrying the pointer, and this pointer will move over a calibrated scale. So these kind of bimetallic strip thermometers are known as helical bimetal strip thermometer. Finally, we have the field system or pressure thermometers. In this device, it works on pressure or volume change of a gas or change in vapor pressure of a liquid. A field system thermometer consists of four parts. That is, one is a bulb which contains the uh, liquid or gas, then a capillary tube, a pressure volume sensitive element, and in this example it's a Bourdon tube, and an indicating device. Here it's a pointer and calibrated scale. And in working, when the bulb is heated, the pressure and volume of the fluid inside the bulb is also changes. This variation in pressure is transmitted through the capillary tube to the Bourdon tube. The movement of Bourdon tube is used to drive a pointer indicating the temperature. The pressure thermometers are classified based on the fluid filled in the bulb. So these are liquid filled thermometers, mercury filled thermometers, gas filled thermometers, or vapor pressure thermometers. The advantages of this kind of thermometers are it is simple and low cost, and it is quite rugged in construction. No power is required for its operation, good response accuracy and sensitivity, and it can be used for remote indication. The major disadvantage is that it cannot be used for automated systems since this is not producing any electric output. Thank you for watching and stay safe.